Hi, Mrs. Calzado here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please make sure to share it because it makes a difference. So in this video, you're going to watch an interview that took place with Mr. Aaron Shirk and his wife, Heidi Shirk. Mr. Aaron Shirk has been a tax professional his entire professional career. He's currently an EA or a licensed agent by the IRS at Sunrise Tax. You might know them. They're very prominent in our area. So in here, you're going to see them answer a few questions that will help you better understand how you too can participate in the EITC program to help fund the school through taxes. And here's what I want you to keep in mind. When you are listening to either this video or the video below, answer this question for yourself. 1, do you pay taxes to the Pennsylvania state? Because not everybody does. Some people actually have enough deductions because they're business owners that they do not have a tax liability at the end of the year. And others don't have enough of an income to actually pay into the state taxes. So answer that question first. Do you pay taxes? Do you pay Pennsylvania taxes? And if the answer is yes, then here's the second question. Would you be willing to pay your taxes early for the opportunity to be able to redirect them, to send them to a Christian school, to send them to Blue Mountain Christian School, where our goal is to offer free tuition to every attending student? So without further ado, here's the interview. Thank you.
When I read that question, I don't know if I'm an emphatic yes. What I will say is, I think for us, wanting to put our children in an environment where they could be educated with Christian principles was important. But as I think every family that sends their kid to any private school, Christian or otherwise, there's financial, I don't want to necessarily say sacrifices to be made,
but there's a huge sacrifice.
There's adjustments you have to make. You have to make sacrifice in the sense of, hey, we can't maybe save as much for retirement right now because we're paying the tuition bill, things of that nature. And I also believe that in life, you have to have the cliche saying of skin in the game. There has to be something that is making you want to be there, and there has to be something that makes you want to take advantage of what's being made available to you. However, clearly, if there would have been an environment where we would have been able to send our kids to the same, school and educational situation at no cost, it would have alleviated a lot of stress at times. Financially, it would have allowed us to pursue some financial goals that we had to compromise on. So I think it would be a huge advantage to have an institution or a situation where parents don't have that fear of the financial burden that it puts on them to do that. And I'm sure there's some parents that specifically don't send their children to Christian education because they just feel they cannot shoulder that burden. The last thing I'll say with it is, I think in a lot of Christian homes, there's the desire to have a parent stay at home, particularly a mom, to help raise the kids. And that is obviously much more burdensome to have that situation and do Christian education at a cost. And if there's an environment where that cost can be significantly reduced or no cost, I think it allows that family in that home to have the mom at home and to fulfill the roles there that are huge for your children being raised as well. So for me personally, because part of what I do as a career is income tax preparation, I understand it probably better than most. It is a little confusing.
He definitely had to explain it to me.
Yeah. It's confusing. It can feel a little daunting because there are some steps initially, but I strongly encourage it. When you look at it and ask questions, I think it's natural at some points to maybe have the thought like, this is too good to be true. This cannot be. The state can't possibly allow money to go to a Christian school in lieu of my taxes or in place of my income taxes. but I know from my profession, having clients that have done it and seeing it in action, and for us this past year doing it personally and giving to Blue Mountain, it works exactly like it's portrayed. There are some little, I don't want to say tricks, but there's things you have to be aware of with your personal tax situation, because everyone is different. Everyone's tax situation is different. It hinges largely on your income. That's going to cause you to either give more or give less. But the bottom line to me is you should explore it if you're interested, and there's no downside to it. To be able to support Christian education with money that you would have been without anyways, because it would have gone to the state income tax, to be able to divert that to the Christian school is just, it's a no-brainer. And once you go through it, once you'll realize it's really not that complicated, it's not that difficult, and it's quite simple. So I strongly encourage looking into it, talking to people that have done it. And if you have a tax preparer, talk to them, make sure they're on board with it. They can help you out, but definitely do it. It's a win-win. I would say I think it's important so that we can have our kids raised in an environment that is Christian based and educated with Christianity as the basis for it. It's not necessary for everyone or every child, because their personalities are different, their social adaptation is different, but for us, I think it gave them the solid foundation that was necessary to, as they age, and in our case they went on to public school, and I think it's important that they have those foundations, biblical principles, morals and ethics that get taught in that Christian school environment. So it was critical for our kids.